Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, this is day one of our KLX DRZ400 adventure into the desert towards Utah. We ended up, Beaver Wash area, the Mormon Hills, but this map shows us basically departing the Temecula area, riding towards Palomar Mountain, then down to Palm Desert, and then miles and miles of deep sand on a trail that, or a wash basically, that runs by Eagle Mountain Railroad Trestle. That eventually dumps you out at Desert Center. And then we're back on the pavement again to the BLM campgrounds just east of Vidal Junction or close to Parker there. Okay, here we go. I think here we're just east of Temecula. I'm having to do a voiceover because, GoPros. Yeah, I had a mic issue obviously this entire first day. I probably wasn't talking too much anyway. It was kind of chilly and kind of cold. We were using the intercom and talking back and forth, so not really something that, well, it might have been entertaining, I don't know, but not really something we wanted to put on the on YouTube. Yeah, so here we're eastbound, east side of Temecula, going through all the ranches. We're gonna eventually come up on Anza Borrega, or Anza actually, and then we'll head down what some of the sport bikers call 7-layer mountain or hill down into Palm Desert. The DRZs, mine's a KLX, but they perform, basically flawlessly. The only complaint either one of us had was with the seat concept seat, which was way better than the comfort seat we had, or the stock seat obviously, but they kind of tried to make a saddle, and I think they could have left, you'll see later in the video, they could have left this rear of the seat flat instead of making like a cup, right, for a place for a passenger to sit, because I mean, really, is someone going to have a passenger on a bike like this when they're traveling? Probably not. But yeah, so I also, sent them an email, and their response is listed a little bit later in the video. It basically ended up as a, sorry, can't help you, but yeah, I was surprised with that. I mean, I just expected more, I guess. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna speed the video up a little bit here and maybe add some music, and eventually we're gonna make it down to Rice Road, which leads to Vidal Junction, and through the magic of GoPro cameras once again, none of the footage in the deep sand or on the dirt actually worked. It was all corrupt. I don't know if it's all the crashing. I figured an adventure cam like this could handle a few shock loads now and then, but apparently not. Maybe it was just enough to jiggle the SD card around in there, and it corrupted the files. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and we'll talk to you a little bit more towards the end of the video. Ugh.
I get a little bit of that ridge on the seat.
In your butt?
Back of my butt.
Me too.
It's starting to get sore. I wish I would have moved that back a little.
Or not even put it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should all be just flat.
I don't like this.
I'm gonna send them an email about that.
I wonder if they could flatten it out. It's in the wrong spot.
In the wrong spot, indeed. My buddy that I went on the trip with, Chris, we're looking into finding a local upholsterer that can possibly remedy that. I really think that that seat would be perfect for long rides if it was just flat, right? No point in putting that cup saddle / passenger area back there. And honestly, it would be the perfect seat, because other than that ridge and not being able to slide back and sit there occasionally, the seat was perfect. The density of the foam, the support, everything was right. For me, it was right where it needed to be. So hopefully, yeah, we could get that squared away. I wasn't surprised that there was really no offer to help in any way. But that's how it goes. Okay, it's the spot we found of the BLM land, just west of Parker. There's a wash behind us over there, but this area was pretty flat, mostly rocky free. Yeah, we have LEDs behind our tank so we can light them up at night. Pretty funny. The things you do, right? The chair. Yeah. My friend lost his chair, so the next day was spent finding a chair for him. We had a Kit Fox, little tiny guy, probably 3 pounds. I don't know if that's full size or if that was just a pup or a kitten. But he hung around for a little while, and that was pretty much it. After that, we just signed off.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
I whipped my thermometer out this morning and it was like 55 and 10. I'm like, that's not bad.
Okay, we're pulling out of Vidal Junction on the way up to Oatman, then up to Meadview, to the Meadview Airport campground on this leg. So looks like 186 miles. Let's go. Once again, microphone problems with GoPro. I think up here at Vidal Junction, I figure out what the problem is. So I think there's some audio after a few more minutes here. We'll see once we have breakfast. And of course we have the Breakfast of Champions.
Some BLM area campground back there. Not really campground, just wild camping on BLM land. We got there last night. It was almost dark, so no filming. There was a little baby, I don't know if it was a baby fox or just a desert fox, little guy. I'll put a picture here. Cruising around our campground all night. Kind of cool. Yeah, we had, or at least I did. I crashed like six or more times in sand that was probably up to the axles in some spots. About 15 miles of it. Right out of Palm Desert on the west side of the 15. Yeah, don't go there. So today we're going to go up here, get some gas, maybe grab some breakfast at Vidal Junction. Then head north and see if we can get the Mead View, the campground we stayed at last year up there. Dead quiet last night, no wind. It only got down to 45, 46. Perfect. So yeah, I'll probably end up doing voiceover on most of this footage. So you know, stay tuned. Yeah, that sandy section that we did out of Palm Desert, anything like sections 1 and 2 of the SoCal BDR, you can count me out. I won't be doing that. It's just not any fun. And I don't want to blame the tires, but I'm definitely going to change out the Tusk D-Sport on the front. It doesn't seem to like really small gravel, or even big gravel, or sand. But I'm not sure any tire does. I might try their new it'll be pretty much shot after this trip, so I might try their new mix Adventure tire they just came out with on the front. I already have one for the rear. Today we're mostly asphalt because I need a break. Yesterday was rough, lots of crashes, lots of pain. Today I feel pretty good. But yeah, onward to breakfast, Kingman, Mead View. Morning.
after a quick gas stop. I don't think we needed that much fuel. And grab a quick bite to eat for breakfast, and yeah, check that breakfast out. That's amazing. We are back on the road again, heading up towards Oatman. No camera footage through Oatman, which was a shame because there were donkeys everywhere. But we'll do what we can here with what we have. You guys enjoy the video. Yeah, coming up on this bridge here, crossing the Colorado River, we thought it was pretty cool. We caught two trains on the trestle going opposite directions. Had to be a pretty rare occasion, right? And then we've got, it looks like another, I think it's a pipeline off to the right on a little suspension bridge. And then right up here, we're going to take an exit and make a right loop around underneath an old Santa Fe bridge, and then continue our way to Oatman and then on to Kingman to try to find a chair, because we lost a chair earlier. So after breakfast, we realized that my buddy Chris had lost his camp chair. So the quest today was to find a new camp chair that would work for the rest of the trip, and we located one, as you can see here. And through the magic of video, we found ourselves in Meadview looking for firewood, and we hopped from store to store, with the previous store telling us to try this store, and that store telling us to try another store, and so on. We finally found some firewood at a gas station in the middle of town, and look at that. So after a couple of attachment fittings here with the straps and a couple shakes with a few that ain't going nowheres, we were on our way to our campground, which was only another maybe 5 miles away. So yep, let's go set up camp. And this was camp for the night. We set up here and look at the view we had to work with. It was horrible, just horrible. We had a pretty decent sunset with the mountains here. Yeah, look at that. And we're going to send up the drone here in a bit. Unfortunately, I was a little slow getting the drone out, so I missed the sunset on the mountain. But here are some still shots. Oh yeah, really nice restroom at the campground there in Meadview. Fire that night. Had a pretty decent one. Stayed up maybe a little after 10 or 11 o'clock. Enjoyed some beverages, good dinner, and a smoke or two. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, we had some night lights on our Acerbi's tanks. It's pretty funny. We had those going the night before as well. Yeah, chilling by the fire. And a little drink. And some midnight pictures. Or no, these are around 10 p.m. The iPhones are pretty incredible at taking night shots. So yeah, anyway, let's send up the drone, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. you guys are looking at here is the end of the Grand Canyon. The Colorado River is right on the other side of that wash right there. Maybe a mile away, 3/4 of a mile, before that large mountain range there. Okay, day 3. We're going to find ourselves in Meadview, Arizona, and we're going to depart for Beaver Wash up in Utah. We had to head down to Dolan Springs and then back up, and we stuck closely to Lake Mead to avoid that S-hole known as Las Vegas. It was mostly highway miles, so not a lot of filming. Have some still images here. This is the end of the Grand Canyon by where we camped in Meadview. Heading out around Lake Mead here. Stopped for some food. I don't know that we bought gas. Found this old charging station. It's pretty funny. And I apologize for the wind. All right, we're here at Beaver Wash. Just check this place out. DRZs are doing amazingly well. No complaints whatsoever. Freeway, dirt, doesn't matter. Good bike. Alright, so we showed up just a few minutes before, maybe about an hour before sunset there. Got camp set up, looked around for some things to maybe burn. Had a really beautiful sunset. Look at that. The desert sunsets are always amazing, of course, unless it's raining. And then we were able to get some food, get a fire going, enjoy some beverages, and I believe, we probably had some cigars that night as well. And we ended up burning cow pie, which amazingly works really well. Breaking down camp this morning, and look at that, just like that, boom, camp's broken. Heading out, and we're gonna go west towards Nevada, and looking for Rainbow. I think there's Rainbow Canyon over there. Most of this segment from here on out to where we camp on Lake Mead is is single track, and then this gravel road like you see here, and then some couple of the trails were pretty gnarly, but I don't know that I caught that on film, which sucks. They were single track stuff that, you know, you had to go up and down, down into a valley and back up the other side, and you're on top of the valley and looking down in it, and you're like, do I go down there? Because can I even get out? But yeah, it was a good time. Up here, there's an old cattle pen. We'll come across that, and I think it was there from, God, I want to say the 1800s. It was interesting. I mean, this part of the segment was almost as boring as paved road, because the road was in pretty good shape. I think the grader just was right in front of us. Actually, I do believe at one point we passed the grader, so he was already out there this morning doing his thing. And you can see the signs there. It's a Desert Tortoise Sanctuary. And look at that morning shot in the desert. Man, I love the desert. I don't know why. The desert's just really cool for me. And also navigating with Gaia on my phone, and zoomed in trying to figure out, which way do we go? Because there's a lot of trails here. They shoot off to the left, shoot off to the right. Here's our cattle pen from, I want to say it was late 1800s. And then my buddy, Chris, pulls up. I'm at the top of a hill. He pulls up and he sees me, he has to stop, and then, boom, falls over. I probably shouldn't have stopped there. He didn't really have enough time to see me and then plan a turn and stop. He just had to stop kind of on an incline, and he could barely, he's probably an inch shorter, so he could probably barely reach the ground there. Okay, lots of desert riding from here on out. And as you'll see, we get closer and closer to the grader. At some point we do pass him, but I don't think it's on film. Towards the end, the grader was, I don't know if he lifted his blade a little bit, but he was basically leveling out 3 or 4 inches of sand, fine gravel, so riding on it was interesting. Just when you had enough confidence to go fast, you would hit something that was iffy. But yeah, you can see the berm off to the side where he was pushing the deep sand. I'm glad that was pushed off to the side, because this ride might have been miserable otherwise. We had some quail there. But yeah, we go on here for quite some time, and just about, you start thinking when you're out here in the middle of nowhere, we're miles from anyone. And just when you get enough confidence to start picking up the speed and going faster, you're like, man, if I crash, myself, I'm stuck out here for a while. So yeah, old age kept me in check. And a lot of times here it seems like I'm slowing way down and stopping. That's because I'm checking my review for my buddy, make sure he's still back there. We never got separated. He stopped to take some pictures one time, had me wondering. A little further up here we run into that single track stuff, which was a lot of fun. Lots of, you could see where there were drainage washes down the middle of the trail with lots of boulder, like, I guess baby heads, not really boulders, but 5, 6, 7, 8-inch rocks here and there makes it interesting. Had to stop a lot and make sure I was on the right track in Gaia. I had my winter gloves on, so I couldn't zoom in while I was riding. I had to stop and take my glove off and, do the thing. Coming up here on this wash, as we get deeper and deeper into the Joshua Tree National Forest here, and then more and more Joshua trees, kind of cool. And we're back to plowed road, which is as smooth as pavement almost. I think right up here somewhere is where we find our trail. Yeah, it's right here. So, you want to do that way or that way?
I mean, this looks kind of fun.
Yeah. We'll see. So yeah, we decided to take the single track to the left here. It's a shortcut, sort of, kind of. It was fun. It made the ride a little more interesting than this paved gravel road, right? Although, as I said before, that road most of it wasn't as smooth as it looked. It was basically smoothed out 3-inch deep gravel and sand. So yeah, it was, depending on what was underneath it, you know, it was interesting here and there. But yeah, we continue on down this trail, and you know, that those of you that use your GoPros to film this kind of stuff know that the hills, right, the inclines and declines just don't show up. And on the other side of this ridge here, there's some of the declines and inclines are pretty aggressive, but looks pretty flat on here. But yeah, we continue on here until we intersect another road that takes us up through towards the is it Mormon Hills, to a ranch operated by Brigham Young, and that's where we're gonna end this video for to be continued for, you know, day 3.5 to 4. It's getting pretty long. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, thumbs up and share, and you know, ride safe, and I'll see you out there. by BYU, and small water crossing up here. Really nice valley. Really enjoyed this part of the ride. At least there was more to look at. Roadrunner there crossing. Of course, we had to get off and check the depth of the water. It wasn't too bad. It was only maybe, the first section here was probably 10, 12 inches deep, but nothing major. I don't know why I'm not taking pictures. This is awesome. I wonder what ranch this is down here.
Well, that sign over there said BYU Conservative Ranch. Something, Lido Creek.
We'll go check it out. Don't fall. Hey, we have LTE up here. Went over 20,000 miles. 772 on this trip. Got my wallet, got my phone, got my drone. Poet and didn't know it. Until next time, Lower Echo Bay Campground in beautiful Lake Mead, Nevada. Things are kind of sparse around here. It's obvious the boom days are over until the water comes back up, which probably won't be in our lifetime, if ever. So this is day 4, Thursday. We're headed back to California. I can give a brief description so far. I wasn't able to run the chin mount yesterday. We did like almost 100 miles off-road, and to be honest, the chin mount on this helmet is kind of a pain in the butt. I did run some footage with the 360, but I didn't run it in 360 mode, just regular mode. But so day 1, we left out of basically Temecula, California, headed to Anza, and then down to Palm Desert. And from Palm Desert, we took a dirt route away from, I think that's the 10 freeway, that took us all the way to the Iron Mountain turnoff. And that was about 40 miles, 30 miles, but 20 of it was super deep sand. So I'm going to use that as a pass in the future and say, you know what, I did sections 1 and 2 of this SoCal BDR. So yeah, that sand was, I think I have some footage of it, so it'll be interesting. That sand was bottomless, and yeah, it was just ruthless as well. I think I had 6 crashes that day. One of them, I didn't get hurt, but one of them was a little more serious, more than just a lay the bike down kind of a crash. I was trying to power out, and I high-sided. It flung me, and I landed face down. All the gear did its job. Helmet did its job. My visor, which this up here is a visor, the thing in front of your face is a face shield. I don't know how this turned into a peak and this turned into I don't know what, but whatever. So yeah, my visor was pushed down all the way in my face. I assumed it was broken, but it wasn't. It held in there. Scorpion exo helmet. Wasn't a real hard impact to the face. It was right in the sand on my right elbow and in my head. The Tech 7 boots no doubt saved my ankles in almost every crash, because there were awkward crashes, because that's how deep sand is. And I have no pain whatsoever in my ankles. My right knee got a little sore on the bad crash, but no real injuries. And then we made it out of that sand trap and got on the highway to Iron Mountain, which I think ties into the SoCal BDR, but we kept going to Vidal Junction. It took so long for us to get through the sand, and we were beat. We just wanted to get somewhere where we could set up camp. And so we bought a snack and got some gas. No, actually we only bought a snack and got some water. And we camped on the BLM land closer to Parker, about 7 miles outside of Parker in California, for the first night. That night was pretty much uneventful. We were going to have a fire, but we read you couldn't have fires on BLM land in California without a permit, and I had no idea. We didn't have a permit, so we did not. Day 2, back to Vidal Junction, gas up, head north, and through Needles, and then up the highway to Kingman, and then we went up to Pierce Ferry Road, all the way to the end of that road to Pierce Ferry Campground beyond the airport, and spent night 2 there. That was a pretty uneventful day for riding. Mostly asphalt, which we needed to break because we were sore from the day before. That night started out fantastic, dead calm, not cold, and around 10:30 the wind picked up, and we had a dust storm from 10:30 at night till 5 a.m. in the morning. And that fine micro mesh screen on the Big Agnes tents, or we both have Big Agnes tents, I believe. Maybe his MSR, but anyway, same mesh screen, I'm sure. Would only allow the super fine dust in, and we were covered in dust, like literally. I wish I would have taken a picture. Everything inside of our tent was covered in dust. The dirt storm, or the dust storm, was that bad. Luckily it quit at 5:30 and completely calmed down by 7. Sun came up at 7:40. We warmed up, dusted off, packed up, and got out of Dodge. Then let's see, that day we headed north through here, through this same area, but going that way to Beaver Wash Dam, Beaver Wash area, and the Mormon Hills, and we trucked around in there. We camped at Beaver Wash on BLM land. Perfect night, no wind, nice temperatures. The coldest we've had, I think, is 38. Got a little cold last night. So yeah, had a nice fire that night. Took some really cool pictures with new iPhones. They take some crazy nighttime photos. If you haven't done it, check it out. That was a great night. Woke up in the morning and did about 75-80 miles of just dirt all the way back to, I believe that's the 15 freeway. And so we had to ride the 15 freeway for maybe 9 miles back south to get to the turnoff back into Mead Lake recreational area. That's where we are today. And we had no cell coverage there. We got to the campground and they changed it to reservation only. Gives you a website to go to. Well, there's no internet. There's no cell coverage at all. I'm like, well, how do you force someone to register and pay for a campground when there's no way to get access to the internet? But anyway, technology, man. I used my iPhone, wrote up a text, the campground spot, the campground name, and the web page to go to, and I used the send text via satellite feature on the iPhone. My wife got it right away, jumped on the PC at home, got us signed up for that campground and paid for it, and sent me back the confirmation. That just kind of blows my mind. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm old, but I used my phone to send a message up into space. My wife got it almost instantly. You know, did the task at hand, sent me a confirmation code back, and that was that. Pretty crazy. So yeah, I must have sent 20, 30, 40 text messages to update people last night using satellite text. So that was cool. And so last night was the perfect night, which is awesome, but probably the last night of camping. We were headed to Lake Havasu to a friend of mine's house. We camped there for the night, maybe you know, take a shower, do some laundry, and then head on out to California tomorrow. Last year we stopped in there and drank all his beer and all of his whiskey and left money on the table. He wasn't home. He's not home this time either. He works in Alaska. So if we make it through all this highway riding today, yeah, we'll be in Lake Havasu City tonight. Speaking of making it on the highway, these DRZs have performed flawlessly. Other than being a tad tall, I have no real issues with this bike whatsoever. It starts, it goes, it's got torque. I mean, 65 to 70 miles an hour is doable on the freeway. I personally don't like going faster than 65 with these knobbies. It gets a little weird. Especially when the 18-wheelers pass you going 90. But yeah, neither one of us have any issues at all whatsoever with the way we set these bikes up. They are truly a lightweight adventure bike. We're getting about 58 miles to the gallon. Got the Acerbi. I think it's a 3.9 or 4 gallon tank. And the heated grips have been working wonderfully. Speaking of, I had to turn those babies on. A little chilly still. And I just got leather gloves on. All the USB ports have come in handy. I've kept my big 50,000 milliamp battery charged for my drone. It's been so darn windy, I haven't been able to drone much at all. Kind of sucks, because there was some cool sunsets that would have been nice to get on drone. Maybe we'll drone at my buddy's house tonight. Anyway, we'll roll some footage here. Maybe I'll do a voiceover because I was able to film, but because I was using the 360 cam, there was obviously no voice. This is Lake Mead Recreational Area, by the way. We're headed south. I think, what do we come out in Boulder City? I think. Then we're going to head to Kingman and then south to Lake Havasu. We'll cross by the Hoover Dam. You can't see it from the freeway, but it's there, trust me. Something about the desert. I really like it. For something that's supposed to be so lifeless, there's lots of life out here. We had desert foxes run through our campground 2 nights in a row now. One was a micro little guy. I'll put a picture right here. The smallest little fox I've ever seen. I thought it was a kitten at first. Well, it is a kitten, right? But yeah, we thought it was a cat because it was coming right up to us, and I did the whole, you know, kitty 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 thing, and he ran right up to us. And he got close enough. I'm like, that ain't no cat. And then I don't know what he was thinking. He kind of got spooked when he saw it, when he got closer and ran away. Then last night, a full-grown desert fox come just trotting through our campground. And then we were also surrounded by owls and donkeys last night. Donkeys were doing the donkey noise all night long. I don't know if a donkey was in labor or if that's just what they do. Although I tuned it out, went to sleep. Earplugs are wonderful. I like this route through here because the speed limit's 50. I mean, 50 to 55 to me is just a comfortable, leisurely pace to, I mean, look at that. Why would you want to rip through here and have to focus on the road so much? I'd rather look around. There's lots of cool stuff to see. Bit chilly. Should have left my base coat on. My base layer. Plenty of dust and dirt on these guys now. We got dirt cred.
That's about it, actually. I'm going to go ahead and close out here, leave you guys with some scenery. And, you know, from here we went to Kingman, grabbed a bite to eat, and then on to Havasu. And that was that. Didn't really record any video from Havasu to Riverside. It's all mostly highway. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you can. And thanks for watching.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.